revolutions within a country, changes in government, territorial adjustments, measures taken during military occupation, or other internal transformations.
Leader or the follower is based on consciousness. It is based on the state of your mind, not the status of your chair. Leader is a state, not status. Please be very clear. People who achieve the status without achieving the state never stay in that status. If you are in that state, the status will simply follow you. Even if you don't have the status, you will be enjoying your life. So it is necessary to achieve the state, then status. Status will simply follow you if you achieve the state.
Understand, if I say Mahavir is the ultimate management guru, not only for the inner world, even for the outer world, he never speaks about how to create or manage the wealth. All he does, he creates the beautiful inner space in which we can accommodate many things. He is not talking about Karma Yoga. If he talks about Karma Yoga, you can use those words and make him as a management guru. He simply does something in your consciousness. You become a leader. He is not telling that you should become a leader. He just makes you a leader. He creates a beautiful inner space. One important thing you should understand. When your inner space is expanded, when you are living with inner richness, outer richness follows you. Not only follows you, it becomes your servant. Let us enter into the words of Mahavira. We will understand how he does this great thing through his unique teachings and techniques. So, before entering into the sutras, let's all remember the great master Mahavira and all other Tirthankars, all other great masters, by repeating this mantra. If you all know this mantra, you can repeat. Otherwise, at least remember all the great masters, all the Tirthankars, all the sadhus, all the siddhas, all the acharyas, who preserved the science of enlightenment, who protected the science of enlightenment. And let us offer our humble respects to them before entering into their teachings. Let us pray to them. Let them give us intelligence. Let them bless us to realize the truths of their teachings, to experience the truths of what they are teaching to us, to experience what they really want us to learn, what they really want us to do, how they want us to be. Let us pray to them. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayaryanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Eso Panchanamakaro, Savapavapanasano, Mangalanam cha savesim, Padamam havaihi mangalam. Let us first understand this mantra. It's such a wonderful mantra. I'll tell the translation. I'll read the translation. Then we'll try to understand this mantra. I bow in reverence to Arihantas, means the people who have conquered the enemies. Enemy does not mean the outer world enemy, the inner world enemies. I bow in reverence to Siddhas, means all liberated souls. I bow in reverence to Acharyas. I bow in reverence to Ubadhyayas. I bow in reverence to all sadhus. This fivefold salutation destroys all sins, and amongst all auspicious things, this is the most auspicious one. Mangalanancha savesim. Padamam havai mangalam. This mantra is an amazing mantra. You should understand a few things before understanding this mantra. See, this great tradition of Mahavir starts with this mantra and ends in this mantra. Whatever he has to say, the whole gist of this tradition is this mantra. Please understand. They are not worshipping the gods who will give wealth. No. They are not worshipping the gods who will give knowledge. No. They are not worshipping the gods who will give power. No. Here he starts, Namo Arihantanam. I bow in reverence to Arihants who achieved the highest truth. Not only who achieved, who are radiating the truth so much that others who go near him, they are also inspired to achieve. Understand? An important truth. Arihant does not mean person who teaches. No. Person who inspires. You can't reproduce enlightenment by teaching. No. If you can, long before we would have started selling. We would have created stores. www.enlightenment.com. Please visit our website to get enlightened. And we would have created enlightenment guaranteed shop. No. Fortunately or unfortunately, you can't create enlightenment in some being by teaching. No. Only by inspiring you can create enlightenment. You can reproduce enlightenment only by inspiring. Arihanta is the person who is radiating the truth so powerfully, so strong. His presence is so intense. Anybody who comes near him, even if they spend few minutes around him, they are inspired. The fire is ignited. The transmission of lamp happens. They feel this is the best state to live in. This is the best space to exist. This is the best thing which can happen to me in my life. Understand? If you go near an enlightened being, even if you have spent 2-3 minutes, suddenly you will feel this is the best thing which can happen to me. If you had that thought in you, only then he is enlightened. Otherwise, be very clear, something is seriously wrong with his enlightenment. If he cannot radiate, if he cannot create that inspiration in you, forget about him. There is something seriously wrong in his enlightenment. Arihanta is a person not only who became enlightened, who radiates it. Just his very presence, you will feel God. He will become fantasy in you. He will inspire you so much. He will occupy your inner space so much. Either you start working towards achieving that state, or you feel, I am not able to. Even if you feel, I am not able to, that's okay. At least you have put the first step. You have started. Understand? Respect towards an enlightened being is the first step towards enlightenment. Means you wanted that state. You will not respect anything unless you agree with that ideology. Unless you have a little bit of attachment, feeling towards that ideology, a subtle feeling that you should also have that same. Unless you get that, you will not have respect for that. If you are respecting somebody beautiful, handsome, be very clear, you have a subtle desire to be in that state, to have that quality. Same way, if you respect a rich guy, there is a subtle desire to have wealth. Anything you respect automatically enters in your inner space. When you say, I bow in reverence to enlightened being, you give respect to enlightenment. Here, you are not bowing down to somebody who will help you when you are in fear. No. You are not bowing down to a king. No. You are not bowing down to a rich guy who will give you money. No. You are not bowing down to a person who will give you logic or philosophy, words. No. No. You are bowing down to a person who inspires, puts the seed of enlightenment in you. There is a beautiful commentary, means the explanation, which says, when you sit in front of an Arihanta, the ultimate conscious being, without your knowledge, without even your conscious understanding, your whole being is integrated towards that one goal, enlightenment. Understand, as on now, you are not one being as you think. Your head is calling you, pulling you in one direction, your eyes are pulling you in the other direction, your ears are pulling you in that different direction. And the commentary says, the Arihanta is the person who creates a group consciousness among parts of your being. As on now, there are so many parts in your being. You have so much of politics amongst the parts. Your head is doing politics against your leg, and your eyes are doing politics against your ears. Because ears want something else, your eyes want something else, and your tongue wants something else, and your touch wants something else. Each guy is having his own agenda, and they are having big problem amongst themselves. Finally, you are suffering. When your indriyas suffer, when your indriyas fight among themselves, your consciousness will be suffering. Understand? When your senses and mind fighting amongst themselves, your consciousness, your inner space will be suffering. Arihanta is the person in whose presence all your senses, indriyas and the mind is integrated by itself. Understand? In front of a warrior, automatically you will feel that you are supposed to behave with respect. Just by its presence, you will not talk anything. It is called sthana bala. In Sanskrit, we use the word sthana bala. Anybody who holds that seat, that very sthana, you just go in front of it and sit silently and come out. You know, if you talk, what will happen? The results. Just the very sthana bala, you will be frightened. Same way, in the presence of the Arihanta, just the very presence, just the sthana bala, your senses will be integrated. Your inner personality, your mind, indriya, buddhi, chitta, everything will be integrated. Because all your senses, they know he has killed all his enemies. Any moment he may kill me also. Let me be silent. For example, if you are going and sitting in front of a person who has done 100 murders, will you talk? Will you oppose him? Unless you are mad. You know he has killed all his enemies. So, if I give an idea that I am also his enemy, simply I will be killed. You will keep quiet. Same way, all your senses, your mind, they know he has killed his enemies. Arihanta, who has conquered all his enemies. So naturally, he will kill me also. Better let me keep quiet. Your personality will be integrated just by his presence. Understand? This bowing down, remembrance will invoke their presence. You need to understand an important thing. Remembrance is not just thinking. In ordinary things, like a flower or a sweet, in ordinary things, remembrance is just thinking. But when it comes to an enlightened beings, remembrance is invoking their presence. It is called avahana. When you remember enlightened beings, they are there in front of you. You invoke their presence because constantly they are waiting, they are available, they are waiting just to help you. Please understand, when you remember some object of the outer world, that object doesn't have intelligence or power to appear in front of you, to be there in front of you. But enlightened beings are not objects. They are energy and intelligence. One more thing, which is a very important thing you need to understand. Enlightened masters, even if they leave the body, they will have to retain their sukshma sarira, subtle body. They will have to make themselves available. They will have to available for all of you. Please understand, till you all become enlightened, they can't disappear. Even if they have given up their bodies, you will be very intense in whatever you are doing. When you see there is a hill in front of you, when you are clear, you will not bother to take a diversion. Your whole energy will take diversion. And your ego will not be hurt. That is why no river needs a navigator to the ocean. If your ego is hurt, you will become a lake and you need a navigator to the ocean. Fortunately, no signboards for any river. Here is ocean. No, but all rivers reaches the ocean. They achieve the goal. When you are intense and ready to flow, you will achieve the goal. That's all. Let's enter into the first sutra. First sutra is about ahimsa. Dhamma Sutra, Ahimsa Sutra. Dhammo Mangalamukitam Ahimsa Sanchamotavo Devavi Tam Tamassanti Jasadamme Sayamano. Beautiful. It's not actually Sanskrit. It was the Sanskrit which was used in those days by common people. It's like a spoken Sanskrit. We call the different word Pali. All these words are used to name this language. There are a few more names, but this is not Sanskrit. It's a common man's language. Sanskrit was used only by Pandits. Buddha and Mahavir, both of them used the language used by common people. They wanted to reach common people. They wanted to express the truth. See, they are not interested in showing themselves as a great people. They are interested only in the truth. So they work towards reaching the truth to more and more people. Let me give the translation. What's the most superior dharma? Ahimsa is the most superior dharma. A person who has established himself in ahimsa, even the devatas salute him. Understand, ahimsa is the first step towards non-possessiveness. That is why Mahavira is speaking about ahimsa, then goes to aparigraha. Let us analyze this ahimsa little deeply. He is saying ahimsa sanjamotavo Dhammo Mangalamukitam Ahimsa Sanchamotavo Devavitam Namassanti Jasatamme Sayamano. What is the most superior dharma? Ahimsa is the most superior dharma. Person who has established himself in ahimsa, even the devatas salute him. Ahimsa is the most superior dharma. That is the truth. Understand, you can drop any dharma, but ahimsa is a dharma which you can't drop. It is the basic understanding for human beings to coexist, to live together. Without ahimsa, no human being can live on the planet Earth. Please understand, even the people who committed hundreds of murders, at some point they had ahimsa. That is why they have not murdered some other people. See, from the young age, at some point they are with ahimsa, means non-violence. Otherwise, the day they are born, they would have started killing from the parents. Ahimsa is the basic truth of life. One important thing you should understand, all the great masters, whether Buddha, Krishna, Mahavira, Shiva, all of them are talking more about ahimsa. All the Eastern masters talk more about ahimsa than about love. Love comes only second. Ahimsa is emphasized. But for a Western mind, the word love is looks more appropriate because it is positive things, positive thing. Non-violence is more like a negative, but ahimsa is more like a positive. Love is more like a positive. But all the Eastern masters, they emphasize more on non-violence than love. Because in love, slowly you become aggressive. Not only that, when you say I love you, you give some promise to the other person. And all promises are failures. The moment you give promise to somebody and you don't fulfill, that is also non-violence. That is also violence. You give a promise to somebody that I love you, I am going to create heaven around you. The moment you say you love somebody, directly or indirectly you have given many promises, sharing roses and giving them the idea that you are going to create heaven for the other person, or you are really going to make the other person happy. You have given so many ideas to the other person, and when you don't fulfill, it is violence. With non-violence, you are very clear. When you start, you are very clear. I can say only one thing, I will not hurt you. That's all. So the right way to start love is non-violence, not love. Love will happen when you really experience non-violence. And you cannot make love happen. No. You can work only in the direction of non-violence. Love will happen as a byproduct. If you try to work directly in the line of love, you will mess up. And you will end up creating troubles for you and for the other. Non-violence, ahimsa, such a powerful dharma. I always tell people, even in my ashram, see, there is nothing, no rule which will take you away from enlightenment. To tell you honestly, even all so-called morality, everything is only a social rule. There is only one dharma, one rule, which is directly connected to consciousness. Understand? All dharmas are based on conscience. Means your mind, conscience, which will change in every century. In some part of the planet Earth, eating vegetarian food is the only right thing. And in some other part, you can eat non-veg. That's perfectly alright. The social rules always change. Morality has no solid base on consciousness. There is no dharma which will which is directly connected to consciousness. All dharma, all morality is related only to your conscience. Means a society. If you change the place where you live, the morality changes. It is just like a constitution of every country, law. It is just a social law. But there is one dharma, one truth, which is directly related to consciousness, which is universal. That is ahimsa. That is why we say ahimsa paramo dharmaha. That is the ultimate dharma, most superior dharma. Non-violence is the paramo dharmaha. See, unless you learn, you imbibe the idea of non-violence, you can't live on the planet Earth. It is a simple, basic, preliminary understanding to live and let live, to coexist on the planet Earth. There is a beautiful sutra in Patanjali which says, Ahimsa pratishtaya vairatyagaha. Amazing sutra. He says, if you are established in ahimsa, in front of you all enmity disappears. There are thousands of stories. Animals or people dropping their negativity and enmity in front of enlightened masters. Thousands of stories. In Buddha's life, we can say so many stories. There was a mad elephant sent to kill Buddha by one of the Buddha's cousin. And when the elephant came in front of Buddha, it just stopped and bowed to Buddha and did pradakshina and went away. The other day I was reading an article. One scientist was trying to fix some electrodes, the brain of the animals, and manipulate it. There is a beautiful article, I was reading about it. He activated an electrode which creates anger, and the bull became mad. And after a few minutes, when it was about to jump on him, he just activated another electrode and the bull becomes just silent and sat. When you are really established in non-violence, in front of you, no animal can experience violence. The brain part which aggravates anger or violence simply disappears. It stops working in front of you. One important thing you should understand, whether you understand or not, believe it or not, whatever you strongly experienced, you radiate that quality. You express it. Even if you try to cover, you can't cover. You can't hide. You can't hide. You radiate. In the Sanskrit, we have a word called darshan, means seeing. They say even seeing negative people will create negativity in you. You may think, how can that happen? You don't know, because they are constantly radiating that same kind of waves, that same kind of thoughts. There are so many stories. Let me tell you a story which happened in my life. I was staying in a forest in South India after my experience of the spiritual enlightenment. And one evening I was just sitting and relaxing. There was no thought, just deep silence. It was a forest A small hillock was there. I was sitting near that hillock, forest, just a complete silence. No thought. Eyes are open, but no thought. There was no clutching, means the chain of thoughts. Just I was completely relaxed. There was a big snake in front of me, lying more than 3-4 hours, just 1 feet away. But I did not have a thought, it's a snake, it is dangerous to my life, all those things. As long as I did not have a thought, it's a snake, snake did not have a thought, I am a man, and dangerous to its life. And after few hours, as usual, slowly mind comes down from that beautiful silence, intense silence. Slowly, when a thought started raising, when a mind started clutching, when the first thought came, oh, there's a snake. The moment I got the idea that there is a snake, I saw very clearly the snake got the idea there is a man. Till then, the snake did not have idea I am a man. Only when I got the thought there is a snake, this is snake, the snake started thinking I am a man, there is a man. Then I slowly moved little backwards and the snake also just moved little away, went and disappeared. Understand? As long as I did not have a thought, it's a snake. Snake did not have a thought, I am a man. Only when I feel threatened, when I felt I am in danger, so naturally now the possibility to attack, the non-violence has disappeared. Now the violence may start. There is a possibility where violence is there. Same way, the snake also felt that there is a possibility for violence is there. See, only when you are afraid you attack. Be very clear. All the people who think they are great warriors, they are all cowards. Only cowards attack. Mahavira never attacks. Mahavira means the ultimate warrior. He never attacks. If you are attacking the other person, you are afraid that he may kill you. You want to kill him before he kills you, that's all. See, all the wars are created only by cowards, not by courageous people. Just they want to kill the other person before they are killed, that's all. That is the truth. That is the truth. Even in your life, be very clear. If you are threatened by somebody, sit and analyze. That person must be feeling threatened by you. And try to sort out that issue. You will never be disturbed. Whenever people come to me and say, I am threatened, I am in danger, I tell them, no, wait. Just see. You must be threatening the other person in some way, directly or indirectly. Find out and remove the fear from him. Send him a message, directly or indirectly, that you are not going to be a threat for him. You will not have any dangers. You will attack only when you are threatened. This incident, it taught me a big lesson. Only when I had the thought that there is a snake had the idea there is a man. And one more important thing, this happens, this is a law of nature. This happens only with natural beings, never with so-called conditioned human beings. Conditioned human beings are moved away from nature, they moved away from the truth. If this is truth, Jesus shouldn't have been crucified. Mahavira shouldn't have been stoned. Buddha shouldn't have been poisoned. Then why that has happened? See, Patanjali says, Ahimsa pratishtayam vairatyagaha, means when you are established in non-violence, in front of you enmity disappears. But this is only with the natural things. This can happen with animals or the people who are living in a natural way, tribals. There is a beautiful story with in the Buddha's story, in the Buddha's life. Buddha's meeting with Angulimal. You heard of Angulimal? That guy is a big serial killer. He must have been Zodiac of those days. He killed 999 people and cut their thumbs and made a garland for himself. He was living in a forest. Buddha was advised not to enter into that forest because Angulimal is living. Buddha said, no, it's okay. He walked, and the story says Angulimal saw Buddha and was about to kill Buddha. Buddha said, wait, you can kill me, but answer few questions. Buddha asked few questions. Angulimal was not only not able to answer, and he transformed himself and became the disciple of Buddha. This can happen with Angulimal because Angulimal is not having any religious beliefs. He is not having any social conditionings. He is not corrupted. He is with nature. He kills just out of his animal instincts. Understand? Person who is killing because of his animal instincts can be transformed. Person who is killing because of belief systems, difficult to transform him. That is the ultimate corruption, the worst thing. When Patanjali says, Ahimsa pratishtayam vairatyagaha, he means the violence in you will disappear, but the conditioning won't disappear. That is why if you see the master's life, whenever an animal is sent to kill them, it just settles down. It loses its enmity and comes back. And the same way, man who is living like an animal, if he goes to kill him also, he just settles down and comes back. But not a man who is conditioned. That is why I tell people, if you are conditioned with some religious beliefs, some conditioning, without enlightenment, you are more dangerous than any animal. You are the worst criminal than any animal. Here, the vairatyagaha can happen, means the disappearance of enmity will happen if you are natural, or if you are facing the beings who are natural. There is a beautiful story in Adi Shankara's life. He wants to establish a monastery in South India, and he was traveling. One place he saw, frog was giving birth, and the snake was protecting that frog from the rain. Understand? Frog was giving birth, and there was rain. Snake was protecting that frog from the rain. Of course, it happened because of the presence of Shankara. In the great master's presence, animals lose their enmity. So Shankara saw this and he said, this is the right place to create the Pita. And he established a Pita. That place is called Sringeri. Still the Pita is there. It's one of the oldest traditional Vedanta mutts. In the presence of great masters, simply enmity disappears. When you are established in ahimsa, non-violence, naturally the non-possessiveness starts expressing through you. The person who is established in himself in ahimsa, even the devatas salute him. Because, understand, even devatas are not completely established in ahimsa. If you are established in ahimsa, you will become enlightened, not as a devata. Devata is a being whose thought per second has come down little bit, who can enjoy little more pleasures. Devatas means angels. Angels are not gods. Word devata should not be translated into God. It should only be translated as angels. These devatas, even they are not completely enlightened. So when you really establish yourself in ahimsa, you become enlightened. Even devatas, the angels, worship you, respect you, and they offer their very being. They surrender at your feet. There are so many stories. Devatas coming and respecting, serving the enlightened beings. Ahimsa is such a dharma. Actually, you can live without any dharma if you hold on to just ahimsa, not hurting others physically, mentally, and verbally. This is enough. Nothing else is necessary. Just this one dharma, very clear, that I will not hurt others through physically, mentally, or verbally. One more thing, Eastern religions are the only religions, only they again and again emphasize on ahimsa. Even to spread religions, they do not want killing. Understand? Even to spread religion, because any religion will compromise on their teachings when it comes to the spreading, when it comes to the question of survival. Because if religion has to survive, it has to spread. If it doesn't spread, it won't survive. Eastern religions do not even bother about surviving. They do not bother about spreading. They do not bother about conversion. They are more established in ideology. Here, even for spreading, they are not giving exemption. No exemption. There is no word holy war. There is no word like holy war exists in the Eastern tradition. No, you can't kill, even for spreading, even for converting, even for teaching. No. Masters are very clear. I think the greatness of Mahavira, he took this ahimsa to the extreme. His followers they don't even do agriculture because it is related to killing the plants. Plants do have life. Forget about the question of non-vegetarian food. They don't even kill plants. and they even tie a cloth in front of their face so that the insects or the worms which are or the bacteria which are in the air won't die when they speak. He has taken ahimsa to the extreme. They do not wear silk, they do not wear shoes, they do not encourage directly or indirectly any industry based on violence. Anything based on violence is not encouraged by the followers of Mahavira. All they do, all they help directly or indirectly is only towards ahimsa, non-violence. When you really enter into ahimsa, the aparigraha, the next step starts happening. Let us see that sutra, Aparigraha Sutra. Naso parigraha uddho naya buddhena tayina muccha parigho buddhi ye buddham mahesina loyiseta anukosi manne annaramavi jesiyo sannihikame gihi bhavayenase. Let me give you the translation. Parigraha does not mean to go have clothes and other items of basic need, but to have attachment towards this is parigraha. Beautiful. First thing is telling, parigraha means, possessiveness means, don't think that having clothes and other items of basic need, that is not possessiveness, but having attachment towards it is possessiveness. This is the one sutra which created so much of wealth around the followers of Mahavir. They were successful socially just because of this one sutra, this one teaching. This is the ultimate technique to create and enjoy wealth. Understand? When you become non-possessive, the capability to enjoy increases. The power to enjoy, the intensity to enjoy becomes more. You can see in your life, whenever you are enjoying something which you are really possessive, you will be so suffocated. The fear that it may leave you will never allow you to enjoy it. Only when you are with a non-serious attitude, playfulness, the intensity with which you are enjoying will be so beautiful, amazing, you will create more wealth and live it and experience it. Parigraha does not mean to have clothes and other items of basic need, but to have attachment towards these is parigraha. Again, Patanjali says beautifully, when you achieve the non-possessiveness, you get the insight, you experience the truth of why you took birth and knowledge about your past life. See, as on now, you are not able to have the knowledge of your past life because you are too much caught by the things which you are having. You are too much filled by the possessions which you are having. Your inner space is forgotten to move beyond the things which you are having in your life. Understand? The few things which you are having, a few cars and your home and your few relationships, this occupies your inner space so much, you do not have enough space to look further, to look beyond. One more important thing, whenever you are possessive of something, be very clear, you are bound, you are binding yourself, you are putting a boundary for yourself. You are not allowing the further expansion. You are stopping, you are curtailing the possibility for growth. Any possessiveness is curtailing the possibility for growth. That is why a possessive person suffocates himself and suffocates others. Whoever is around him or her, he or she suffocates the other person also. Ahimsa and possessiveness, these two are very closely connected. When you really become non-violent, you will not possess people. If you are possessing somebody, you will be violent towards that person. Be very clear. Any possessiveness, the very possessiveness itself is a violence. Because the moment you possess, you reduce that person from energy to matter. Only matter can be possessed. You can possess this chair. You can possess this table. You can keep it wherever you want. It will be there as it is. But you can't possess a living being. If you do, you are reducing that living being from energy to the person, from energy to matter. Possessiveness is violence. Aparigraha is himsa. That is why Mahavir touches ahimsa first before talking about aparigraha. See, two things. Not having desires or suppressing your desires means suicide. It is just suicide. Because desire is the energy which moves your body. Desire is prana, fuel for your system. Having desire is the only way to move your system. So not having desire or killing the desire is not the goal. Creating enough of inner space to accommodate all your desires, so that desire does not torture you. Desire does not suffocate you, so that you don't feel disturbed by the desires. Understand? Not having desires is not the goal. Then we can live like a buffaloes without being disturbed. People ask me, Swamiji, an enlightened person should not have a desire. You really don't have a desire? They come and ask me. I tell them, be very clear. Enlightened person, the word enlightenment should be very clearly understood. Only then you will understand the enlightened person also. See, as on now, in a normal human mind, if they have 10 acre, all 10 acre, they are growing something, some rice or paddy or sugar cane or something. It is filled, occupied. In an enlightened being, he has got 1 million acre, only 10 acre is used for agriculture. Will he even know that agriculture is going on in some place? No. I have 1 million acre. So even if agriculture is going on in 10 acre, I will not even know. Same way, enlightened being has got so much of inner space, the 10 acre is like a negligible. The inner chattering which is happening is negligible. All you need to do is expand the inner space. I am not telling you to kill all the, destroy the agriculture which is happening in 10 acre. No. That will lead you to tamas, means depression and inertia. That will lead you to tamas and depression. I am not telling you to destroy the agriculture which is happening in the 10 acre. No, I am telling you to expand the inner space so that the 10 acre sound will not disturb you. The noise which is being created in the 10 acre agriculture will not disturb you. You will not feel suffocated. You will have more space. You will feel expanded. You will feel the fulfillment. Aparigraha does not mean not having the basic items, basic things, no. But creating a bigger inner space. How to? How to do? Whenever you feel that you are possessing something, decide very clearly to unclutch from it consciously. Visualize how your life will be without that object or that person. Sometimes you may think, oh, I can do without it. That's all. Then perfectly all right. Sometimes you may have little suffering. Go through that suffering, that moment itself. That suffering itself will purify you. Understand? When you feel that you are too much attached, you are possessive of some person or some object, sit and visualize your life without that person or that object. If you feel you can do without it, relax, nothing to worry. If you feel suffering, oh God, my life will, I can't do without him or her or that object, then sit and meditate your life without that person. Create that pain. Allow that suffering. Suddenly you will see that suffering itself is so powerful. The pain is so powerful. It will teach you. It will purify you. When you come out, when that suffering disappears from your inner space, because you can't be constantly suffering. At the most, you can suffer for a few hours. Slowly that suffering will settle down. That depression will leave you. That pain will leave your inner space. When that pain leaves your inner space, already you would have learnt a lesson of Aparigraha. This is powerful technique to achieve Aparigraha. Start meditating your life without that person or object. Let that pain, suffering arise in your inner space and wait till it disappears. Be silent, have patience till that disappears. When that pain and suffering leaves your inner space, you would have been matured, because pain and suffering teaches you. It's a powerful master. It's a powerful teacher. No other master or teacher can teach you like pain or suffering. Using even pain to learn, using even suffering to grow, using even the failures to mature yourself. When you expand your inner space through this way, understand this technique is a very powerful technique. Try it. Whenever you feel you are possessive of somebody, something, sit, unclutch, disconnect, allow the pain, allow the suffering. Now what can be done? Because anything can be taken away from you. The product or that person can be taken away from you. It is not that he or that person or the product is going to be with you forever. No. So, just meditate the non-possessiveness, meditate on Aparigraha and be without that person or the object. You will see the pain itself teaches you, and you are free from the pain, you are free from the suffering, you are free from the parigraha, you are free from the possessiveness. Doing constant struggle to hoard stuff is an indication of the greed within a person. A person who continuously struggles to hoard stuff is just a householder, not a sadhu. Understand? Mahavir is telling, doing constant struggle to hoard stuff is an indication of the greed within a person. When you are greedy, even the things which is in your garage, you will be remembering about that constantly. Even the things which are under your control, you will be remembering about it. You can't forget even the things which are under your control, which are inside your locker. You will be afraid that somebody may take it away. Who knows, it will be there when I go back. Too much of greed constantly creates fear, and you struggle to hoard, you struggle to hoard, you struggle to hoard. When a person is non-possessive, he is ready to take the risk. That is why all the majority of the Mahavir's followers have become business people, because that needs risk. You need to take risk. This great teaching of Aparigraha gives you the courage and inner space to take that risk, to take bold steps. See, only when you are non-possessive, you can do calculation. Usually, the doctors don't treat their own family because they will be too possessive. They can't see the truth. The objectivity will be lost. Same way, if you are possessive of something, you can't put that thing at stake. Person who is too possessive about his life will not do anything which expands his life. He will not take any risky. He will not do anything which is risky. When you don't do anything which is risky, you are nothing more than a buffalo. We will be just vegetating, nothing else, just sitting and sleeping, couch potatoes. I have seen many people, they will not even climb some 100, 200 feet, 100, 200 steps. They will tell, no, I have little pain, I may get wheezing, I may get breathing problem. See, the idea that I may get this, I may get that, will completely put you in prison. I call this a psychological prison. Not able to take risks. And the life without risk is not worth living. Life without risk means you are not living, you are just waiting for death to happen. Because you don't have courage to commit suicide, you just wait till it happens. Now nothing can be done, it has to happen only by itself. So why not wait? That's all. Aparigraha, the non-possessiveness, gives you such a big inner space to take risk, whether it is related to business or related to your life. So I tell you, ahimsa is the greatest dharma. If you follow ahimsa, others will live happily. If you follow aparigraha, you will live happily. These two are the greatest truths. Non-violence. If you practice non-violence, people who live around you will live happily. If you practice non-possessiveness, you will live happily. One more thing, don't to really achieve non-possessiveness, you need to understand one thing. Life is not too valuable as you think. And don't be too serious. See, because we are constantly living in cities, we become too serious about our life. Every day thinking too many things and too much about how to avoid this, how to avoid that, what will happen this, what will happen to that. And you clearly design the life. Understand, if you look into your life, every day morning till night, just try to see your life. If you do a video recording of your whole day, tell somebody else to do without your knowledge, you will see, you will realize few important things. You will come out of your bedroom through the same path. You will sit in the same sofa. You will go to the living room through same steps, and you will come out and take your car in the same way. The whole thing will be same, and you will not be even using some parts of your house for 1 year or 2 years. You will not be even using corners of your house your whole life. I tell you really, if you see, you will understand. Almost your whole day routine is under your control. Even if you face the accidents, there is an insurance. So everything is clearly pre-planned, visualized. No place for God. Because you did everything. Now where is the place for Him? You do not allow divine to intervene. People ask me, Swamiji, we are seeing so many miracles in your life. Why it is not happening in our life? Especially people who live around me, they get a little jealous of miracles happening around my life. Because whatever I tell becomes true. Every other day this is happening. One day you can say coincidence. And every day when this happens, these guys become a little jealous. What is this? How so many miracles are happening around you, but not around us? Because I am allowing God to intervene. I am not planning out and out. I leave little gaps so that He can do something. Miracles do not happen in your life because you plan for your life completely, thoroughly. Living non-seriously is plan for miracles. Living in a playful way is plan for miracles. Understand? If you live a little playfully, it's okay. If you live a little non-seriously, you will attract so many beautiful miracles in your life. Patanjali says, Aparigraha is way to achieve the memory of the past life and your decisions, why you take birth and what for you came down. And I tell you, Aparigraha is the amazing way, best way to create miracles in your life, to attract miracles in your life. Person who lives in a non-serious way, playful way, attracts again and again miracles in his life, because he has got some inner space and the outer space where God can intervene. It is not that his whole life is packed. No. If you yourself have thought about, visualized and decided, then he thinks, all right, he is managing, why to interfere unnecessarily? And you may say, you may put a board, no entry also, who knows? That is the reason he feels he shouldn't interfere. Live little playfully. Do little less planning. You will see the miracles happening in your life. Person who is non-possessive, not only miracles happening in his life, anything happens in his life, he feels miracle. Because he doesn't possess anything. He doesn't take anything for granted. He doesn't claim anything is his birthright. Even taking birth is not your right. What about birthright? The word birthright is the wrong word. Nothing can be birthright because taking birth itself is not your right. It's not under your control. Then how can you say something is your birthright? No. Word birthright should be removed. There is nothing for which we have a right or claim. No. Person who is established in non-possessiveness, Aparigraha, not only regains the past memory, he realizes again and again and again he is doing the same nonsense of catching some people and catching some property and saying this is my house and this is my boundary, this is my husband, this is my wife and this is my son and this is my daughter, and suddenly he dies, goes to other place and again catches everything. One more psychodrama and again you die and catch one more. By that time you are almost ready with your husband, daughter, son, grandson, enough of your boundary, property, everything. Life says, now chalo, bas, relax, and over. You realize again and again you are doing the same thing. The moment you understand again and again you are doing the same thing, you decide strongly to jump out of this cycle. Anybody who decides strongly to jump out of this cycle is liberated. Understand? For liberation, all you need is only one thing, strong decision to jump out. Clear no to society, clear no to the same cycle of birth and death. Aparigraha directly leads you to enlightenment. Aparigraha can happen only with a matured soul. You don't possess now all the toys with which you played. Do you possess? No. You don't possess your toy car with which you played. But at the age of 6 or 7, that was your life. If your mother snatches it away from you and says, hey, go and eat, it is time to eat, enough you played. You say, no, I don't want food. I don't want you also. Get lost. Give my give my toy. Give my car. That time it was more near and dear to you than your mother and food. Now, you are grown out of it. Simply the aparigraha has happened. It's not that you don't have the toys. You may have even in your house, but you are not remembering about it. You are not possessive about it. You are not possessive. But you are possessive of little bigger car. You have grown out of the 6-inch car and now you are caught with a 6-feet car. If you expand your inner space, you will grow out of this also. Today's topic is true knowledge. Everybody, every master, every spiritual person claims what they are teaching is the true knowledge. How to find out what we are hearing is the true knowledge? There should be a scale for satya. There should be a scale for truth. What is truth? There should be definition. There should be clear idea with which we can find out whether it is truth or not. Mahavira is giving the touchstone definition of satya here. Today we are going to enter into the Satya Sutra. He is giving the techniques, methods to find out what you are listening is a true knowledge or not. Through these beautiful sutras, before entering into the Mahavira Sutras, I wanted to discuss few things about this truth so that you will understand the greatness of Mahavira's words. See, one beautiful thing is Mahavira has lived Kshatriya life, the life of a king. To tell you honestly, if somebody has renounced the life of a king, he has seen the truth in reality. Please understand, an ordinary beggar becoming a Swami or renouncing the world, he has nothing to renounce. He has nothing to renounce. You can't even say he has renounced the world or he has achieved something. No. A king renouncing, that is the greatness. King achieving. One more thing, when a king achieves enlightenment, even his expression will be very sharp and to the core, to the point. He will speak to the point because basically he is brought up without fear. King is a guy who only creates fear in others. He doesn't have fear. He doesn't bother. He is not going to use the socially polite words. But a guy who was poor or a beggar or a person who lived in forest, even if he becomes enlightened, he will not talk the truth completely. He has to use the socially polite words. He can't tell the truth which goes against the vested interests of society or king. But when a king becomes enlightened, he doesn't bother. He says the truth in the best way. He presents the truth as it is. Here, the best expression is happening because Mahavira was king. See, one more thing, when you live a life with wealth and richness, you know all the secrets of human mind. Understand? Wealth gathers around you only when you know the secrets of human mind. How to handle human beings who are coming in front of you. Only a person who knows the basic secrets of human mind will acquire wealth, will become a leader. Only he can be a leader. Here Mahavira lived the life of a leader and expressing the truth of enlightenment. Very rare combination. Very rare combination. There are many different expressions by different masters. One, the person who was a beggar or who has never seen the world, just lived a life in forest and did meditation, became enlightened. His enlightenment will be the same, but his expression will not be sharp because his constitution or his mind, his inner software is not created based on fearlessness. One more thing, even after enlightenment, when you settle into the body, when you want to teach, you use the same mental setup which you left. You may not have the greed and fear which that mental setup was having earlier, before its enlightenment, but the setup will be the same. The software programming will be the same. Understand? This is an important revelation which you need to understand. Only then you will be able to appreciate the greatness of Mahavira's expression. If a beggar becomes enlightened, he may not have the fear or greed which he had before enlightenment, but the mental setup of living without possessing anything, or the mental setup of living by begging, will be the same. So he has to use that mental setup only to teach, to relate with the world. Understand? The mental setup which you created after enlightenment, also you use the same mental setup. Only one difference: after enlightenment, if you want, you can use, otherwise you can drop. You may have that freedom, but the mental setup, the software itself will be same. Here, Mahavira is having the best software to express enlightenment. The fearless leader software, through which he can see the depth and express it. The one thing what I expressed, that people who did not have anything, renounced the life, became enlightened. There are so many millions of examples I can give for this. Second, people who became enlightened but did not renounce after enlightenment. Example, Krishna, Janaka, all these great masters, they lived as kings, became enlightened, but they continued to live as kings. This is a second kind of a mental setup. One more thing, in this the difficulty is, they will express the truth with a clear software, with more clarity, better than the first group. Better than the first group, example is all rishis who lived in forest and became enlightened. They have never seen the world. So that is the first group. The second group, who lived as kings, became enlightened, but again continued to be as kings. Here the big problem is, their teachings is interpreted, experienced, understood by the people who have vested interests. Understand? When you are talking to your ministers, even if they don't understand, they have to listen. But Mahavir has no captive audience. Mahavir is not talking to captive audience. When Krishna is speaking to his ministers, when he is teaching to Arjuna, practically they are captive audience. Even if Arjuna doesn't want, he can't escape from Krishna. He has to listen because he is receiving some service from Krishna. When your boss makes some joke, you have to laugh. You can't do anything about it. You have to. Same way, when Janaka is teaching, his whole court has to listen. They are captive audience. So, the person who is listening, whether he agrees or not, he has to listen. So, complete truth expression is not possible. It's not possible. I don't sit with my ashramites and take these spiritual classes. I give them only the instructions what to do. They ask me, what is this, Swamiji? You are not sitting and talking to us like this Shiva Sutras or Jain Sutras and all these sutras. I tell them, Arey, you guys are captive audiences. Whatever I talk, you have to listen, no other way. That way, truth can never be expressed. Truth cannot be expressed to a person who is bound to listen. Truth can be expressed only to a person who has got the freedom to doubt and question. Who has got the freedom to doubt. See, you have a freedom, you can doubt me. And you have a freedom, you can put a question. You have a freedom to go out. Only to you, truth can be delivered. Truth can be delivered in its purest form only to a person who is not receiving anything else from a master. If you receive something else from me, apart from truth, you may be sitting here for that. You can't receive the truth. You are not qualified to receive the truth. Here, the whole thing, if you see, has come in a beautiful way. Mahavira is the ultimate category. Was king who became enlightened and renounced the kingdom. He is teaching, sitting on the platform of Satya. Only one thing is holding him, Satya. He doesn't have the title. He doesn't have any other title like a king. No. He is heard by the people just because he is enlightened. See, after enlightenment, if you are sitting on the throne of a king, people may hear you because you are king. You don't know what for he is sitting. You don't know why he is listening. You can't say people are sitting just because you are enlightened. They may be sitting because you are a king. There may be some other reason for you to sit. In India, during all our rituals, means the homas, yajnas, yaga, we give free food. But I never give free food during meditation programs. Because people may be sitting for food. I will not know whether they are sitting there to listen meditation or enlightenment or for food. I tell them give free food during yaga, during rituals, not during meditation. It is a disrespect to meditation. I don't want that. There should not be anything else associated with the spiritual truth. No. If you associate anything else with the spiritual truth, the possibility is there. The truth will not be heard properly. It will not be received properly. Here, Mahavir is talking to people who are not bound to him in any way. Who are not bound to him in any way. Seekers. One more thing. Seekers are the most dangerous people. Because you can't bind them. You can't bind them. And there is nothing which can bind them. You can bind them only by love and gratitude. So you can't even use the word binding. It can't be even a bondage. You can keep them together only based on love and gratitude. Here he is talking to a community of seekers who are not receiving anything else from him but truth. They are not there for anything else except truth. And he is not carrying any title. He has renounced all the titles. So nobody is sitting in front of him because he has got some title. Because he is a king of some place or he is somebody. No. People are sitting in front of him just to listen to the truth. He is a pure being without any personality, without any title. See, the word persona comes from a Greek root. In those days, the drama actors, they will use masks. That mask only is called persona. Personality means the mask which you are using. Janak has got mask. He is a king. Ashtavakra has to listen to him. No other way. Or The Sugabrahma, sorry, not Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra actually taught Janaka. Sugabrahma came to listen from Janaka. Sugabrahma has to listen because Janaka is a king. Sugabrahma is a captive audience. He is captured. He has to. Whenever a king speaks, you can't tell anything. But here with Mahavir, there is no other relationship except the master and seeker. The purity of relationship is important to maintain the purity of the teaching, purity of the truth. And one more thing, Mahavir has no Western interest. He is not talking to his people to make them do something. No, there is no ulterior motive. There is no goal. Whatever is said and done, Krishna has got a motive to deliver Gita. All he needs is Arjuna has to fight now. So he has to talk. He has to express the truth in such a way that Arjuna will start fighting. There is an ulterior motive. And not only that, Krishna is running a community. He is running a kingdom. So naturally, his words has to be heard. So the purity of relationship is not there. One more thing, Arjuna was thinking himself as a friend. That's why in Gita he says, Krishna, forgive me. I thought you are my friend. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Shaketi. I called you as Yadava by your community name. I called you as my friend because he was thinking as a friend. So the purity of relationship is not there. You can't deliver a truth to your friend. You can deliver a truth only to a seeker. Here, the best mental setup, best software, and the greatest enlightenment, greatest experience of enlightenment, and right persons with the right attitude sitting in front of Mahavir. So the best truth is being delivered. True knowledge is coming out. He is giving us the scale. He is teaching us what is Satya and how to find out whether something is truth or not. One more thing, even Patanjali, the greatest scientist of the inner world, says Apta Pramana, the words of an enlightened beings can be accepted as a truth